Good morning, students. Welcome to today's lesson on methods of teaching biology. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the characteristics of a good biology teacher. Characteristics of a good biology teacher. Now, by the end of this session, we'll be able to describe three characteristics of a good biology teacher. The preceding sessions have brought to the light the concepts of teaching and learning, and we have seen the principles of both teaching and learning among other issues. So although we all want to be effective teachers, well, how well will we know a good biology teacher when we see one? How well will we know? So this session will brief us on the description of what a good biology teacher is. Now, a good biology teacher will demonstrate, among other things, the following characteristics. One, a good biology teacher will create a supportive classroom environment in which students feel comfortable to ask questions and contribute to lesson. So as a teacher or as a student teacher, when you are doing your off-campus and you are teaching your students, you have to ensure that you create an enabling classroom environment, a conducive classroom environment for your students. You shouldn't be closed, you should be open. Allow students to ask questions, allow students to contribute. So when you're able to do that, the teaching runs smoothly. It shouldn't be teacher-centered, it shouldn't be student-centered. You should both student-teacher-centered. Point number two, design lessons that students are actively involved. So when you're preparing your lesson plan, you have the teacher activity, you have the learner activity. At every stage of your teaching, you have to involve the learners. It shouldn't be only teacher did that, teacher did that, teacher did this, teacher did that. You have to also involve the learners. Point number three, provide instruction to ensure student achievement. Provide instructions to ensure students' achievement. When we say students' achievement, we're talking about at the end of your teaching, whether students understood what you taught or not. So how are you going to assess them, whether they understood what you taught or not? So you should be able to do that. The next point is saying that adjust the difficulty level of their presentation, learning tasks, and assessment tasks to match students' level and needs. You shouldn't teach students reproduction in flowering plants and then you go and bring reproduction in humans. You assess them on what you taught them. What you assess them should be at their level. It shouldn't be outside their level. You should draw on students' needs. The assessment techniques should be based on the objectives. It shouldn't be outside the objectives. As a good biology teacher, you have to adjust the difficult level of their presentation, learning tasks, and then assessment techniques. Now the next one is talking about systematically present new knowledge and concepts by linking them previously mastered skills and knowledge. So what we are trying to say is that teach from known to unknown. What students know already, you build on that to teach a concept. You don't teach what they don't know. When you teach what they don't know, how would they ask you questions? How would the class be interactive? So you have to teach students what they know, from concrete to abstract, from easy to difficult. So it should be systematic. The next point is saying that ensure that learning is significant and relevant to the needs of students. That is, personalize the learning for their students. So the learning should be of relevance to the student. The students are learning photosynthesis. It should be of relevance to the students. Students are learning food and nutrition. It should be of relevance to them. Test for dye, test for food items. All these things should be of relevance to the students. Whatever you are teaching should be of relevance to the student. That is what I'm trying to say. So when you're a good biology teacher should do that. The next point is provide immediate, specific, and constructive feedback to students. So when you teach students, you have to give them feedback. It means that after assessing them, you have to ensure that students know their stance, their strength, and their weakness. You shouldn't teach and then you fail to assess them. Then how would the student know that okay, I am good in this, I am not good in that? So a good biology teacher should always provide immediate, specific, and constructive feedback to the students. We've learned a lot in this session. We've learned about the characteristics of a good biology teacher. Discussed a lot about these characteristics. So in reviewing this session, I asked you students this question. Describe three characteristics of a good biology teacher. So when you're able to answer this question, I believe you've understood this session.